What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at this 2020 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. Huge shout out and thank you to Flo Toyota of Statesville. They're providing this car for today's video. Definitely check out the link to their website down in the description below. They have a huge selection of all the brand new Toyotas and a ton of TRD models. Anyways, let's get into it. And the model that we're looking at today is finished off in magnetic gray metallic and has an MSRP at $52,000. Underneath the hood, this features a 4-liter 6-cylinder engine that cranks out 270 horsepower and 278 pound-feet of torque. The engine is only paired to the 5-speed automatic transmission and sends the power to the rear wheels. And of course, this vehicle has the 4-wheel drive system as well. And with a curb weight at 4,750 pounds and a 23-gallon fuel tank, you're looking at 16 miles per gallon in the city and 19 out on the highway. The overall length is 191.3 inches with a wheelbase at 109.8. The height is 72 inches with a width at 75.8. The 4Runner TRD Pro has many off-road features comparing it to the standard 4Runner models. This one has an upgraded suspension. They're all TRD tuned. There are Fox shocks in the rear with remote reservoirs and then TRD springs up front. This also gives the 4Runner TRD Pro an approach angle at 33 degrees, a departure angle at 26 degrees, then overall ground clearance is 9.6 inches. TRD Pro models also feature a set of satin black TRD wheels that are 17 inches in diameter, and they're all wrapped in a Nitto Terra grappler. The TRD Pro model has an aggressive style comparing it to the standard 4Runner models. You'll see Toyota written out in the front grille like the classic Toyota SUVs. We have a large mesh design in the upper and lower grills with a satin black trim piece in the center, as well as a satin black lower bumper molding piece. And then right in the center of the grille is the sensor for all the forward safety systems. We have LED fog lights on the farthest sides of each bumper with a cool contour around them. And then projector beam headlights with chrome trim within the headlight housings. There's also a bulge on the farthest side to give the 4Runner a wide appearance. Moving our way to the hood, we have a trim piece in the center with a satin black trim and a nice bulge around that. The side profile has a very traditional look for any rugged SUV, very squared off around the windows to give it a nice appearance. We have body colored door handles as well as body colored mirror caps. There's a body line in the lower portion of the doors as well as body colored fender flares. We get a satin black TRD Pro emblem in the rear, and then the functional roof rack up top, finished off in more satin black, has a very rugged appearance and a lot of very good usability given the size to it. And then moving our way to the rear end of the TRD Pro, we have a blacked out TRD exhaust tip, giving it a very cool look. And then you can see there's more satin black trim in the rear with the rear bumper, the TRD Pro emblem. We have 4Runner in the center with more black around that. The LED taillights have a black trim piece around them, and then moving our way up top, we have an integrated spoiler with the third brake light, and then the power sliding rear glass. And then down below, we have the Class 2 trailer hitch, capable of towing of 5,000 pounds. And the rear end finishes off the 4Runner very nicely to give this a great look. So there's a good look at the exterior of the TRD Pro 4Runner. Comment down below, what do you guys think of this vehicle? I think this is one of my favorite TRD Pro vehicles. I love the roof rack. It looks so good at every angle. Just gives it that off-road appearance. Of course, being a TRD Pro, this one is designed for off-road use. Definitely a super capable SUV. So now with the key, if I go ahead and keep it locked, all I have to do is go up to the door handle and grab it. Automatically unlocks, and we can get a great look at the interior. The TRD Pro features a 15-speaker JBL audio system with an 8-inch touchscreen display. You'll also notice the black Softex leather seating. If we go ahead and start with the door panel, we get the black leather on the sides with more red stitching, which has a really cool look. You even have some good padding for your armrest as well. Then grabbing the nice grab handle, we have some storage up front, your door release handle, and then all of the window controls as well as lock and unlock. There's storage down below that within the door panel as well as one of the speakers. And then as we move our way inside, we have the all-weather floor mats with 4Runner TRD Pro and a cool tread design to them. This does have power seats for both front seats. We have all the controls over on the side, more of the red stitching and the Softex leather. That's a very nice look. And then coming up top, we have the TRD logo embroidered into the headrest and more red stitching. Flipping around, we have a solid black leather steering wheel with perforated leather on the sides. That same metallic black trim on it as well. And then now inside the 4Runner with my foot on the brake, we can go ahead and start it up. On the left side of the steering wheel, we have a lot of the Bluetooth and audio controls, as well as the phone controls. On the right side, we have the lane keeping assist icon, as well as the forward sensor. Tapping this button right here comes up with the screen on the center screen, and then using this panel right here we can control everything. We can swipe over to see different things within the vehicle. We can see the steering angle, the tire pressure. You have your navigation that'll pop up, and then different audio. The lane keeping assist will come up there with messages and then settings. To the left side of the steering wheel, we have your mirror controls as well as the dimming for the interior. We have the auto high beams, and then above that we have an air vent, a really cool contour on the dashboard with a cool material to it. We have a digital clock in the center, 2 more air vents and your hazards. And then taking a look at this touchscreen display system, we do have buttons over on the left and right side. If we hit menu, it'll come up with this screen. We can go into audio, and then go under your map to see your navigation. And then on the right side we have your seek and phone buttons, and then that apps icon as well. So very simple to use. We have the power button over on the left, and then your volume as well. And then beneath the screen we have all the climate controls. We have your temperature on the left and right side for the dual zone, and then all of the different icons right here. We can change the fan speed and turn it on right there. We have your air conditioning, your recirc, your different zones. We have a little bit of storage down below that, as well as a 12-volt outlet and a USB. We have a cup holder up front, and this rubber piece does remove for different size cups, and then a little bit of storage right here. And then we have a carbon fiber trim piece around the entire centerpiece right here. The gear selector in the center has a TRD logo on it. If we go ahead and put that into reverse, the backup camera comes up. Really nice view, very HD graphics. And then toggling this button up and down, that actually controls the rear glass. Pushing it down, it'll automatically go down, and then pulling it up, it automatically comes back up. And then we have the center console here with red stitching and the black leather. Opening that up, we have a pretty good amount of space in here. You have another 12-volt outlet, and then a ton of space, and then even extra space in the actual lid itself. And then closing that up, we have a cool aluminum looking trim piece over here with that same metallic black trim. And then pressing the button here opens up the glove box. So you can see just how much space we have in here. Definitely very usable for many items. And then a good look at the overall interior. Very nice looking with all the different colors and contours. I think the TRD Pro has a sweet look, especially with all the red stitching and the embroideries. So taking the 4-wheel drive selector, I'm going to go ahead and put it into 4-wheel drive low, put all the way back into 4 high, put over into neutral, and then all the way forward. We're now into 4-wheel drive low, and then putting the vehicle into drive. We can now control the controls up on the ceiling. We have the crawl control on the left side, and then the terrain selectability over on the right side. Just turning this on and off by pressing the button. It comes up on the screen for crawl control. Then all I have to do is toggle this for the different speeds. All the way over is the high, which is for higher speeds, and then we can scroll over to the left for slower speeds. This is basically a very slow speed cruise control system for when you're off-roading, ranging from about a half a mile an hour to closer to 2 miles an hour. So as I turn this, it goes into different settings, and then it automatically adjusts and locks into one. So going all the way to the left, we have a mud, sand, dirt, and then we have the loose rock, mogul, and then rock setting. And then to take a look at the rear seat space, going ahead and open up the door. The door panel is finished off very similar, comparing it to the front with the black leather and the red stitching. Inside, the rear seats have the black leather and stitching on them as well. A very nice look to them, and these headrests do fold down for better visibility for the driver. Very nice to see that usability. We have a storage net up front, and then 2 air vents as well as USBs in the center console here. And then hopping into the rear end of the 4Runner, you definitely get a lot of room in this vehicle. Closing the door, we have a nice armrest on the side of the door. You're very high up, so it feels like you're upright. You can easily see the view out. We have a big glass window, which is really nice for better visibility. And there is a lever on the side of the seat. These do recline. Reclining this all the way down, you can see just how much farther it is comparing it to the standard seat. It's like 6 inches more reclined, which is really comfortable. And then taking a look at the center, if you pull this lever down, we have a nice armrest here with 2 more cup holders. And just like the fronts, they remove for a little bit larger drinks. So that's very cool to see. And then on the back side of the seat, there is a handle that you can pull and pull this entire seat down. So if you have larger items that are going to be in the back of the vehicle, they can go through and you can still have 2 people in the back seats. And then to fold down the rear seats, you can just pull this latch right here. The seat cushion folds up. You can see everything gets right out of the way. And then on the back side, you're going to press this button right here. This will fold down. And then by folding down the headrest as well, that gets it right out of the way. And the headrest even slides into a nice slot within the front seat. To check out the rear storage space, there's a button on the right side. This will automatically unlock the 4Runner, as well as slide down the rear window. And then the opposite happens when you press this upper button. It locks the vehicle, and then this will fold up as well, which is very cool. We also do have a button right underneath the end here that'll unlock the vehicle and then automatically open up the tailgate. You have a ton of space in the back of the 4Runner, very squared off. The fender arches aren't too intrusive. You definitely have a huge amount of space in here. We got one of the JBL speakers over on the right, 3-prong outlet as well as a 12-volt, and then some storage up top. And then with the second row entirely folded down, you can see just how much space we have in the back of a 4Runner. Extremely usable SUV for pretty much anything that you'll need. And then up top, we do have 2 speakers on the top of this liftgate, as well as 2 LED lights. And then just either grabbing the strap right here or one of the 2 handles, we can go ahead and close it up. Alright guys, so we are now in the 2020 TRD Pro 4Runner. Now if you guys are new to the channel, I actually have a ton of experience with this generation 4Runner. My dad has owned 2 Toyota 4Runners. He had a 2007 and now a 2016. He's already got like 80,000 miles on that one. This is a good old school SUV, and there's a reason why it sells so well and why owners love them. People who buy Toyota 4Runners buy them again and again. Every 10 years they'll swap out for a newer one just because they're that good. They are a reliable vehicle. They are built to last. They're completely built to just be a good, solid SUV. The body on frame construction makes these very rugged. The construction of this is something you can off-road with, you can daily drive it, you can pretty much do anything with it and it's gonna last. It's built to do that, and that's why you see a ton of 4Runners out on the road, whether they're really old or brand new. You see these things out there. And as far as just normal driving, we'll turn around in a parking lot real quick to test out the turning circle. But hitting a bump like that, I like the suspension in this one, especially the TRD Pro. This has a really good off-road suspension. The TRD tuning of the Fox shocks is a really good setup. And for off-roading, this vehicle has so many good capabilities with the crawl control, the terrain selectability, everything like that. It is just really designed for that. And then when you do hit bumps, you feel that the suspension does a really good job absorbing all of the bumps. Being an off-road suspension, this is a little bit more forgiving, a little bit softer riding comparing it to a standard vehicle. And when you hit bumps, you notice that on the road, it's nice and composed and comfortable. You hit bumps and nothing really transfers to the seat. This road right here in a sports car isn't that good, but in this vehicle, it's just nice and smooth. I like the overall visibility in the 4Runner. That's one of my favorite things, I think, with this generation especially. The windshield is very steep. It's very high up, and when you're looking out, you see the glass piece way in front of you. This piece is a little bit farther forward than most SUVs are gonna be, and with that, it just gives it a very open feeling in here. I feel like I'm upright above all the traffic. I can see the entire hood. My view out is amazing. There's no obstructions whatsoever. The mirrors do a good job. You can just look over every way, and then even looking over your left and right shoulder, there's really no blind spots in this car. I like how squared off the glass is, like I mentioned in the exterior portion. So when you do look over your right side, you can see very well. And then as we hit a little bump right there, a little speed bump, and then another one, it's impressive how well this suspension is doing already, and I'm not even off-roading or doing anything crazy. So then we'll test out some acceleration, just getting up and going. The exhaust sounds pretty good. I don't know if it's a full catback or just the tip, but the TRD exhaust definitely sounds really good on it, and the engine gets up and goes just as you would like it. It's not the fastest thing out there, but it's no slouch. You know, it gets up to speed plenty. The gearing ratio seems really good down low. I think you have a lot of usable torque in the car. And then right now going 40, just giving it a little bit of gas, it downshifts, and getting right up to 50. And then as far as cruising, road noise, and everything like that, you really don't hear much. It's actually a really comfortable SUV when you are driving it. So for daily driving or highway commuting, the 4Runner is actually pretty good for both circumstances. It's not just a hardcore off-road SUV like this one is more geared towards. It still has all the comfortable daily abilities that a normal SUV should have. And then the fit and finish of the interior, it's very easy to use, and 4Runner owners love that. Some people may complain that it's not too modern with crazy LCD screens everywhere, but 4Runner owners love it the way it is. They like how simple all the buttons are. All these buttons are a little bit larger than normal, so if you're wearing gloves or something, if you're working or out in the snow or something, you can actually use the interior wearing your gloves. This is a big knob for your temperature, the dual zone, very easy to use, has good ridges on it so you can feel it if you were to wear gloves, and then these buttons are very large as well. And then the mechanical four-wheel drive selector, I think, is a big selling point. It just makes it very easy and mechanical to put into gear, which is very cool for off-roading. But that is going to wrap it up. Once again, huge shout out and thank you to Flow Toyota of Statesville. They're providing this SUV for today's video. Definitely check out the link to their website down in the description below. They have a massive selection of all the new Toyotas and a ton of TRD trim levels, so definitely check them out. But that is going to wrap it up, guys. Give the video a thumbs up, smash that subscribe button. Stay tuned for plenty more content to come, and I will see you guys next video.